All right, Libra. How are you guys? Welcome into your reading. Where are we? Should we go from your first week, November 1st, into the second, the top half of October? All right. Let's see what your situation is and what's going on here for you. What's going on for my beautiful Libras, please? Queen of Swords, basically that's you defending yourself or resisting something. Speaking of you, Justice. Justice is Libra energy, but here we are. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. You are rationalizing something. You are thinking about something heavily, right? Also, you are being defensive or defending yourself or your position. This could be at work or within a relationship with a person. And this could be in a situation or a scenario where you're in the right place with the right people or in a happy relationship. But why is this here at the bottom of the deck? And behind it is the Queen of Wands. Is this like somebody who's stepping out of a marriage or a commitment? We'll see why Justice is down there, but sometimes it talks about being in court. Other times it talks about things that were done unfairly to us are now coming in correct. We'll see when we clarify why that's there. But moreover, for this first top half of November, you're definitely rationalizing something. I'm more curious to understand if you're resisting this happy relationship or getting into a couplehood here with somebody, or if you are just being defensive and defending this. We'll see in a moment. What's coming in towards Libra? Feels like maybe you're defending it. The relationship. We'll see. Let's go. I see the Emperor, Aries energy, Eight of Wands, the Sun, Leo energy, and the Page of Swords in the cross. Okay, and then we also have the Queen of Wands again at the bottom of the deck. A lot of you are making a judgment call. It just feels like, it's now or never or do or die kind of vibe, Libra. It feels like you might have recently made a choice or a decision to leave one relationship and go into another. But for whatever reason, you might be toggling between the two. But now, in what I'm seeing so far, it looks like you're committing into one direction, right? Because the Emperor is telling me you're dealing here with somebody of authority. So I don't know if this is your boss, your father, a parental figure, an Aries person that you're dealing with in a relationship, or even a Leo. But it looks like somebody here is bossing up and it's making you happy. It's like they're kind of taking the reins. And in a way, you're thrilled because now you're going back and forth here. And me looking at the Queen of Wands, regardless if this is an affair or not or whatever, it's telling me the type of relationship you're having here with this individual. It's fire. It's passion. It's chemistry. It's heat. And you're excited because it's going back and forth. I visit you, you visit me. I text you, you text me. And back and forth we go without the breadcrumb and the bullshit. But you're not done shopping or you're not done stalking. You're looking at everything because you're like, let me just make sure. Let me cross my T and dot my I. It's a little extra homework that you might be doing. If you're not doing it, then they are. All right? Because cards are energy and it can be vice versa. What is it that's coming in towards my Libra that they don't see coming their way? I love the Sun, by the way, guys. The Sun, it's like the happiest card in the deck. I mean, what's not to look forward to when you have a Sun in your reading? Ooh, the Star, Aquarius energy. All right, you are definitely positive and hopeful. And it definitely feels like a positive energy that's coming over you, Libra, because I got to be honest with you, it looks like you're upgrading here something with someone. You're upgrading your position at work. You're upgrading a relationship. Some of you are getting engaged, getting married. This looks good to me. This looks really good to me. Look, over here you're walking away, finally making a judgment call regarding one of your paths. Even though this person comes back to vindicate you and validate you, you stay single for a hot minute just so you can make a choice. But then there you go into the arms of somebody where you will find stability. It's like a head over heart kind of matter to me, Libra. Your passion and chemistry versus stability and practicality is what it's looking like. I think that's your back and forth. Well, you're definitely not the only one, Libra. The whole collective is doing that right now. But for you, it's just slightly different. Only because for you, it's not like you had it bad with either or. So that's what just makes it a little bit harder. But clearly, I can see one over the other makes you happier. The Sun. All right, let's see what's in your advice position. What's the advice here for Libras, please? You know what was sneaking out? The Lovers. This kind of fell out. Let me see. So the Hierophant talks about doing something traditionally. What do we do traditionally? We go to college to get a degree. Boom. Hierophant, institution. What's the institution? The education. We court somebody to get married. What's the institution? The sanctament, a church. Boom. The Hierophant. Right? It's talking about doing something traditional, taking a traditional path to your desires, to your wish fulfillment. All right. And these cards here is talking about weighing your pros and cons and what's going to bring you stability where you could be nurturing, loving, kind, caring, who you normally are, Libra. But it's saying that you might have to take a risk, a leap of faith and a risk. And the way you can do this is by communicating with this other person, putting the passion aside and putting all the reasoning and truth-telling on the table. I'm going to take these back. They definitely, go with the cards match the line of questioning in the advice. So that's why I read them, but I put them back just in case they want to fall out again. Show me the outcome, please. You are ending one relationship with somebody that could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag, right? And I think your practicality sense is trying to win out so far from what I'm vibing and feeling. But this person, you're breaking up with them. They don't have to be a fire sign, but this is somebody you could have had fire and passion and chemistry with because they represent fire. And you're going towards a fresh new start in love. If some of you had initiated a fresh new start in love, maybe it didn't get off the ground, or, this person wanted it to be a fresh new start in love, and maybe you turned your back on it and you reject it. Again, vice versa. But I see the solid new beginning that you do want, and it is coming, but you feel stuck and trapped because you're still dealing with multiple people or issues. It's complicated. Okay, so let's not go past that because then we'll be going into the second week of November. So let's start clarifying all these cards and see what's going on here for you, Libra. The Ten of Cups, the Queen of Swords, and the Seven of Wands. All right. What are you doing? Like so nosy. All right, just so you know, sometimes the cards, when they're not confusing or I'm not getting a lot of downloads and they're crystal clear to me, the readings might tend to seem like they're shorter versus why I do other videos that are longer. It is because sometimes I feel when I do videos for certain groups, that is just the message and it's just coming out swiftly. And I feel like if I don't say it quickly enough, I'll drop the thought of what the download is or what the reading is. So sometimes they run faster than others. Others I can take my time. And And again, that varies week to week. So I just want you to know that, because I know some people had concerns about that. But your reading here, honestly, it is looking quite direct, quite simple. And I think that is Libra, because even though you struggle to make choices, that's all changing for you. All right. That's what Saturn was the last 12 years for you. That's what was difficult for you. That was your struggle bus. It's not anymore. You're starting to see things a little clearer. I think you're making life choices a little bit easier, right? I think you're starting to see and make sense that, if things aren't okay in the end, then it's not the end, right? We can go back and do better. Two of Cups here. See, you are defending this relationship, this couplehood. You're saying, no, I know I'm making the right decision. No, I know I'm being logical and rational, but I know that I'm going with somebody that feels the same way as I do. Two of Cups. Okay? I'm going towards something solid and straight. Dunsies. Now, let's see what the Emperor says, and the Sun, and the Eight of Wands with the Knight of the Page. Swords. Clarify that, please. I think you do that just to make sure. I mean, you're happy in the direction you're going into, Libra, but I think you double check, right? You do a double take. Did I make the right choice? Did I make the right decision? Because you are going towards something where you're also kind of like being rational, logical, but you're also going with your heart. What's going to have everlasting love? Yes, I have passion. Yes, I have chemistry and fire for this person. But you want to love and be loved too. Queen of Cups. So you're having this conversation with somebody, putting all your cards on the table and saying, hey, you know what? This is how it has to be. Because you know what? I got two people waiting for me outside that door. You want a chance with me? This is how it is. You make no mistakes. All right? When you are verbalizing your wants and desires and needs. The Star. Clarify the Star, please. King of Pentacles, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus energy. And look at this, the Star, clarifying the Star. Remaining positive and hopeful. This person represents stability, earthy, has their shit together, right? They got it going on. You're hoping and praying that this is going to be all okay here with someone. So let me see the advice why that is telling you. I think it's asking you to definitely go towards something that's traditional and your desires and your wish fulfillments. And the best way to navigate that is to go and communicate here something with someone and keep working at it. But let's see. The Hierophant and the Nine of Cups, please. Page of Swords came out again. Also the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands says that you might have had like a passionate new beginning here with someone. But even though you started with, I'll be honest, I'm going to rip the Band-Aid right off, all right? I'm going to be very adult and direct. Ace of Wands is a passion new beginning, as this is sexual. This is having a fling, but it's coming from heat and passion and fire. Is it an Ace of Cups, which is pure love? Is it an Ace of Pentacles, where let's be boyfriend, girlfriend, let's build something together, let it be stability? Or is it the Ace of Swords, where you're both starting from being honest with each other and communicating crystal clear? No, this is an Ace of Wands. Make no mistake, the universe offered it to you. But it's how you make and mold this Ace of Wands, Libra, right? That's why wands are phallic in shape if you see the tip of it. You're having an experience here because you're curious. And it's coming from heat and desire. That's also why the Nine of Cups is there. It's talking about your desires. But it's saying you must turn this eventually into something that could be traditional, right? How do you go from a wand to a cup to a pentacle? So this is a spark that's been given to you. You can light it or you can douse water on it. Your choice, right? The Page of Pentacles in reverse. There's something here where you do not have enough of information, or something where you have not learned. I don't like saying those things, but I'm going to say them. There's something here that you have not learned, or like if this is a job, you don't have enough of experience, or you don't know the ropes or the standard operating procedures yet to be elevated. But it is a passion project. It is exciting. Go for it. It's the ignition. It's the same thing in love. You might have come off a recent life lesson. Maybe you haven't learned it yet. Maybe you're just, still adjusting, but you have a spark to initiate some new beginning. I know it's making you happy. I do see the fire here, but I also see you rejecting them. Let me see what's going on. It's saying that you could kind of like, so if you're going back to somebody, the Page of Pentacles is saying, maybe you have to see what it was that was broken and that you need to fix it. See what the problem was. And maybe that's what's being ignored. Perhaps. What's the Ace of Cups and the King of Wands in reverse, please? Single. You do break up. You try to remain positive and hopeful. I don't know to what avail. I know you have concerns about the future, but you're still holding on to, being a happy couple here with somebody. The second week of November is going to look quite interesting. Maybe you should check out your monthly reading. That might be quite good. But this, I don't know why I'm stuck here. It's like, you thought that maybe gluing back this mirror would be good, but you ended up getting cut. It's because of the Page of Pentacles in your advice in reverse. Seek a passionate new beginning. Go towards your wish fulfillment. What's the thing that's going to give you, something traditional? But there's something here that you have not fixed or learned and need to progress all of this before your outcome. Unless, I don't know, because how do you go from couple to breaking up here with somebody? Unless you're dealing with two people and this is what you wanted. Okay. Libra, please, what are we reading in the extended for Libra? Love yourself. It's because you're a unicorn and you're beautiful and you're gorgeous. Don't take things that are beneath you. Healing family issues. Absolutely. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. This is why you have this here in your advice. Listen, when I tell you about this card, obviously we deep dive on this in the extended. And in the extended, if anyone's curious, it's more about love. We go into your person, their thoughts, their actions, what they're thinking, what they're going to do, all of that. And we put cards over this because it's more messages from spirit. Now, the healing family issues could, talk about how you were raised when you were a child growing up with your parents. How did they show you love? Are you coming from broken families? Are you coming from blended families? Are you coming from divorces? Are you coming from over-sheltered families? I don't know what it is, but, all of that, learning those behaviors from our parents, we extend that to ourselves as adults in our dating lives, right? So some of us have codependency or abandonment issues, and it's probably because they're learned traits from what our parents had shown us. So you're healing that factor, all right? So this is the thing that you might be working on and healing and needing to see. If this isn't you, then it's them, and that's why it's not connecting. So that's the fascinating, interesting thing there, Libra. I'm going to read from a very naughty oracle deck. It's called Spiritual as Fuck. If you're already cringing, you could go. I'll see you over at the extended. Everybody else, stay for a laugh. Libra, please. What you got for Libra? Do take these with a grain of salt. No, we got 2. That's enough. We don't need 1,000 to confuse you guys. Let's see what you got. Rise above your fuckheadedness. Yes, that's what it said. Let's read it. We're all fuckheads in our own way. Yep, me too. Don't you worry. That's called being a human being. The trick to winning at life is developing the ability to identify our own flavor of fuckheadedness and then rise above it. What one little thing can you do different ish or, better ish today, you beautiful fuckhead, you? That's what we talk about when we talk about like working on your human construct, right? Working on your shadow side. No, like for example, I'll say, "Oh, I jump and leap before I think," or I'm impulsive, or I'm I'm jump to anger before resolve or diplomacy. What I can look at those traits and say, "Oh, I got to work on that. I got to pull myself off the brink." That's like my shadow side. I got to control that. So that's my own version of fuckheadedness. Grab life by the balls and make it your bitch. That is so New Jersey. I can't even. Sometimes life just waiting for you to meet it with the same level of energy it's been stomping at you with. And when that's the case, sometimes you just need to get an alpha dog on it and be like, listen, bitch, note of caution. Make sure you know what you want in life to do what you get so you get that attention. Keep hold of life's balls and point them to where you want it to go. Otherwise, that mixed metaphor is totally going to pull on the leash and poop on your lawn. That is hilarious. All right, guys, that's what I have for you. I liked the first one. And I will see everybody on the next one.